And we're live in our seventh session of Hallstatt by Night. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Session 7, A Beast I Become. Before we get into the dramatic aftermath of last session's events, let's begin by introducing this wonderful group of kindred tonight, starting with Lukas.
Hi everyone, I'm Satanic Bunny and I will be playing Lukas Rosselini, aka Dr. Andrew Miles, the Coteries Hakata.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris, aka the Unemployed Writer, and I play the coterie in quotation marks, Sittite, who believes that Jesus will hopefully show us the way, though these nights are becoming darker and darker.
And I am Nova. I play Knives and the group's moral compass.
And I am Ethan, the storyteller of this group and the dealer of traumatic events to our characters. I will now do a recap of last session. As usual, I invite any of our kindred and our players tonight to just interrupt me and jump in if there's anything you think is any notes that are noteworthy or things that you think are important to bring up. So, our group began the last session regrouping with the Tremere they were babysitting at Matthew Deacon's ghoul's home. They left them there as they performed some defensive wards to keep them safe. They regrouped, and the group saw a display of the Lady in Red's power, crushing the car they were driving to smithereens. The group then split, Knives keeping an eye on the Tremere while the others left to work with this ancient salubri. They decided, after much deliberating, to take the ancient salubri back to Kage's home, to the secret basement. They planned to lure one of the Tremere back to this place and feed them to this ancient creature. Meanwhile, Knives had a discussion with the strange knife and the Lady in Red, learning that this being, this spectre, knows who the killer of Rhiannon Zeitman is. Kage, Lukas, and Matthew lured Oscar, the young Tremere, back to their place and witnessed the raw power of this ancient salubri for themselves, knowing now that they cannot control such a powerful and ancient kindred. The knife drew Knives far away with a sudden panic and fear, leaving Obertraum far behind and heading to Hallstatt. Meanwhile, the ancient salubri seemed fixated with something and made his way across the snowy neighborhood to where the Tremere were. Serafina, the youngest Tremere, was running scared, and the group witnessed the oldest Tremere, Martin, appear with his torso cut upwards, messily. He said the words, "Ah yes, I see now," before a huge bat-like creature of a dull blue skin tone burst its way forth from inside the Tremere and pointed to the ancient salubri to say, "Yes, you will do," before Lukas and Serafina succumbed to a fear frenzy at the very sight of this creature. Now we begin in the aftermath. Kage is missing, assumed locked in battle with this creature, while the rest of the group now gather together to understand and make sense of the strange happenings, all coming together. So, we begin later into the night, approximately 3 a.m. at this point. Sunrise is not for another. It is winter. It seems to come by a little bit later, approximately 4 hours, 5 hours-ish you have until the sun rises. And we start with Lukas in this snowy town of Obertraum, the very roads, and it's like something out of a fairy tale or like a Christmas movie. There is snow blanketing everything, slowly falling down. And there is howling winds that buffet through occasionally and freeze anyone caught without a jacket or coat right down to the bone. It is here, standing behind this large hulking figure of this ancient salubri, Kage next to him, and Seraphina next to you, Lucas. That a glimpse upon this figure, this pale blue, almost like leathery skin that it has that's pulled so tightly across its entire muscular torso, its lack of eyes, its large bat-like ears and wings, that you and Seraphina succumb to a Rotrek frenzy and turn and run. The only thing you feel is a huge buffet of wind that comes from behind you that pushes you almost further away, almost knocks you off your feet. But I'd like to ask Lucas, what is your first thought, or what is the place you are running to away from whatever's happening behind you?
I think it would take a moment for a place to come into his mind, just away. I don't think that he cares, just away. The woods, the hospital, away. Just away.
Mm-hmm. As you run quickly through the snow, hearing some things behind you, but you're not paying attention to that. It doesn't matter anymore. Survival is all that matters right now. And as you sprint past all these buildings, past the woods, and through into it, over a hill, out of sight, very far away, to the road that you can walk, or you usually drive, between Obertron and Bad Alcy, where you work at the hospital, is where you stop and you free yourself of this. Your beast sort of lets you go. It has like both the hands on the controls, and it says, "We're safe now," and sort of lets go very instantly, so that you jolt back into yourself and find yourself in the middle of this long winding road. Either side of you is trees and snow and peace and quiet.
Is there anyone else around? Is Seraphine with me?
It appears you lost her in the running. Wherever you both went, there were different directions, maybe even slightly, but you simply autopiloted here, really. Wherever she is, it didn't matter if she got caught and she got killed. What matters is that you're here and you're safe, and you got away.
He'll look around, hoping to, through some divine miracle, maybe Matthew's right. There is a God, and maybe Matthew's just around the corner. Is Matthew around by some miracle?
You are alone here. The only thing that really greets you is the chirp of a bird that has put itself up in its nest just hanging over the road itself above your head. As it looks down at you, chirps slightly, and then huddles itself back into its nest with its children, protecting them from the snow, from the outside world. You're on your own here.
I reach into my pocket for my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to call Father Lucio.
Certainly. Takes a little bit of time. After the second time you try to ring him is when the phone picks up. You can hear Father Lucio's voice on the other end. He gives a very generic greeting that he gives to everybody. He's saying, "Hello, this is Father Lucio. What can I do for you?"
Father, it's Lucas.
"Ah, Lucas, my boy. How are you? You sound distressed."
Something's gone wrong. And I need help.
"Where are you?"
I'm on a road. And then I give them the road I'm on. Please hurry. I can't say any more on the phone.
Don't say any more. Stay right there. I'm going to come pick you up.
Hurry, please. And then I hang up.
Mm-hmm. I imagine you wait there for... It only takes about 12 minutes. There's a... Hallstatt, Obertraum, and Bad Alcy are very close to each other. Driving around doesn't take much time at all. Father Lucio drives up in his sort of beaten down, dark green sedan. Parks along the side of the road. He leans over. His sort of rounded belly sort of getting in the way, but he does eventually make his way over and opens the door for you on the other side.
I get in. Lukas is in a state of shock. You believe in demons, Father?
Certainly. I believe in all the bad branches of man coming to the forefront in one way or another. If you see some of the things that people can do, yes, demons are very real.
I'm not talking about those demons, Father. I'm talking about the real ones. The real biblical demons, the fallen ones, evil made manifest. I saw something tonight, and I wanted to be there for anyone, but I was weak and I ran. And oh,
Running, it's not a weakness, my boy. Running is survival instinct drilled into us for thousands of years. The fact that you are still alive, the fact that you are still safe and with us, means that there is still work to do.
Do you know if Matthew or Knives are safe? Have they contacted you at all?
I don't know. You and Dimitri are the only ones that really talk to me as much. Come. Maybe we can try and find them. He drives slowly through the snow, winding through back towards Hallstatt. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Matthew Deacon, you did not witness the horrors or the thing that occurred just now as you split off from the group a little earlier before the Salubri could take you there. Where did you go?
He would have started walking towards the community centre that he usually uses to gather people for various sermons, and he would have started messaging someone from his group. I'm going to say a straight into university boy by the name of let's call him Walter. Why not? And on the way, he would have gotten there first, and he would have started searching around. He's probably got stuff there like gloves and a beanie or something, because he's currently just drenched in blood, just coming from the stigmata from him. And he slips on his leather gloves as he just silently waits for his flock to arrive.
Walter arrives after some time, sort of groggily and very just put together. His scarf hangs loosely around his neck, and he sort of trudges through the snow towards the center. I imagine you meet him out the front.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, and one more thing. I don't know if this is going to be particularly hard for me to get, but I would like to get some cocaine.
That's the thing about you, Mr. Deacon. That's quite easy for you to get, I believe.
Yeah. So I have a little baggie of cocaine in my pocket.
No problem.
I'll see him and I'll just go, Walter, thank you so much for coming to see me. I'm so sorry for bringing you out of bed at this late hour.
He rubs his eyes and just sort of slaps his cheek a little bit and says, it's all right. Now, do you usually get them to call you Pastor? Do they usually call you, or just Mr. Deacon, or
Matthew?
Matthew, fantastic. He just says, that's perfectly fine. Matthew, you've done so much for me. The least I can do is get up at, 2 a.m. in the morning?
Come inside. It's cold out here. You're barely put together, you poor thing.
Yes.
Let me discuss why I called you here.
Yes, please. It's fucking freezing out here. The two of you step inside, closing the door behind you. I imagine you flicked on the heating system or the like to make it a bit warmer in here. He blows out still this hot air that you can still see, even in this room.
There's probably like a small little kitchen somewhere in this community center, and I'll start making the coffee. I'll get you a cup of coffee, warm those cold bones of yours. Tell me, Walter, how's the studying going? You still doing well?
Yeah, still keeping at it. I'm still improving at it. He's probably another music student as well. A lot of them study music. Probably a cello player, and he makes his way over, and there's the sort of that white sort of old heater where all the heat sort of comes out from. He sits in front of, pulls up one of the chairs, holds his hand up in front. Yes, the exams are coming up soon. He calls out to the other room, but I think I've got it pretty under control. We can't really leave our houses as much, so I threw myself into studies.
Yeah, I remember exams. I remember when I studied. It was a whole lifetime ago, I remember a lot of late nights.
I can't wait for an end to these late nights.
And as I'm sort of stirring the coffee, I turn around to him to see if he's facing away.
He has his back turned towards you because he's huddled over this heater.
So I pull my leather glove off my hand, just blood just pooling, and I just squeeze a little few drops into the coffee cup. And stir it in before putting the glove back on.
He is none the wiser.
I take the coffee to him and I just say, "Here you go. Thank you once again. Listen, I woke up from a bit of a revelation, let's say. Revelation that about you, which is why I called you here. I sensed you were in trouble, my boy, and, I just wanted to make sure that you were fine, with these studies and these late nights. You're not burning the candle at both ends, are you?
It's funny how right you always are about these things. I'm exhausted, Matthew. I'm exhausted.
Well, I know how important education is. And I know how important your future is. And, can you keep a secret?
Yes, of course.
I used to be a bit of a party animal in my younger years. I don't know if you can tell.
Really?
Yeah. In New York, back in the 80s, quite the scene.
That would have been something to see indeed.
Yeah, but it's how I found God. It's the paths that we all take. And, I have something that might help you put a little pep in your step.
Oh? If it'll help.
For sure. Now, once again, this is between you and me. You know, you are my favorite, Walter, after all. I don't say that in front of, don't go spreading that around in front of anyone either. I don't want them getting jealous.
Okay. Okay, Matthew. I won't. I really appreciate you looking out for me. He says, sipping the coffee.
I produce the little bag of
Mm.
cocaine.
With that, he sort of has a widened eye look, a bit of hesitance towards that. So, let's get a manipulation persuasion.
When I take it out as
Mhm.
well, I put all on.
Fantastic. Absolutely. As this holy image of you procuring the whichever you prefer, both the blood and the body of our Lord and Savior himself, if you will. Manipulation, persuasion, please.
Persuasion. So it's 3, and then I get a +2.
You add your presence rating. Absolutely.
That is a messy critical with a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A messy critical. We are going to amplify, I think, Mr. Deacon's feelings a bit, and we're going to go for a dominance compulsion. The next sort of social interaction or physical interaction with someone this night, you will turn into a contest and you will destroy them and you will rub it in and make sure they know that you are superior to them.
Got it. All right. So I'm just holding the bag up.
Mm-hmm. He looks at you, gobsmacked for a second. Is this some kind of new thing that?
Not a new thing. As I said, the Lord works in mysterious ways. The Lord puts us on our journey. And I woke up in a cold sweat in my bed tonight, going, Walter, he is in need of this. So I went to the streets. I know my way around. I can talk the talk. I risked myself to get this.
Matthew, you didn't have to go that far to put yourself on the line for me.
You're right. Not for you, for God. Because God has a plan for you, my son.
Just, I trust you, Matthew. Just tell me what I need to do.
I'll open the little Ziploc bag,
Mm-hmm.
put a little bit of the powder on my knuckle. I'll just say, inhale deep.
He, without hesitance, with your incredibly successful roll, just does his best to, it's clearly his first time, does his best to inhale it through his nostril.
As soon as he leans forward, and I feel him snorting the powder, I will go forward and bite into his neck.
Oh, subtle movement. Very nice. You bite into him as the two of you sort of, his blood and the cocaine mix, as well as your ecstatic and just incredible kiss, the bite that makes him feel so incredible, blends all together in this euphoric moment. And how much would you like to take from him? Actually, how hungry are you?
Hunger 4. Yeah,
Make
I'm on hunger 4, so I'm going to have to do a
hunger frenzy,
roll.
please.
So that is willpower, remaining willpower plus a 30.
Yes. Reminder that all of your superficial willpower
yes.
comes back this session, start of the session. It is your composure or your resolve, whichever's highest, you get back.
That is a 4.
You are in control. You've planned this probably ever since you separated from everyone. You went through all your lines, what you were going to say, exactly how you're going to approach it. It's all going to plan, and you're not going to deviate from it now. The beast kind of respects that and lets you take this. How much would you like to feed from Walter?
3 would be on the verge, wouldn't it?
Puts him to a dangerous state where he needs to get medical attention soon, or else he will probably die.
I will go. I will go 3.
Okay? No
Because
worries.
I know a doctor.
You certainly do. You lean in, drink deep, and you take your time with it. It's an incredible experience for both of you, very pleasurable. And the blood starts to dry and starts to stop flowing from your hands. And he seems to go a little bit pale, and you start to feel like the reserves running out, and that's when you pull back. You go, no, not too far, just enough to keep us going. Walter sort of, he blinks and he's sort of a lot more limp, a lot more heavy as he's leaning back in the chair, his head sort of flopping back.
I'll lead him to the chair and I'll just say, it's okay. Your first time, it's always a bit of a hit, always a bit of a rush. But that felt great, didn't it?
He sort of looks at you with pale, slightly blue lips. Just, I saw some. He can barely speak.
I take the bag out and I pass it to him, and I just say, "It's yours. Just keep an eye on that. Focus on that. Don't go to sleep. Don't you dare go to sleep."
No, I won't go to sleep, Matthew.
I get my phone out and I call Lukas.
So, before we get to that interaction, while this is happening, Knives, you are in Hallstatt, safe and sound, far away from all the action and things happening across from town. Lady in Red is not showing herself to you currently, but the knife is tucked safely in your pocket as she left it. What would you like to do?
I am just walking, and then I touch the knife, and I think a moment, and I was like, I've got it. I've got a name. Your name is Buffy, the Vampire Hunter Slayer. I do like that one. I'm very proud of it.
There is a flood of mixed feelings that sort of goes through the knife. Mostly just phlegmatic, like calm, like and a mix of melancholic, just grounded. It's very neutral after a while. Seems like the lady doesn't really care what you call her. If you want to stick with it, you can.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it. It's real cool. Did you get rid of all the spirits in this town?
The knife makes there's sort of a, well, first of all, you feel a choleric resonance flooding through your body. It is angry, and the knife sort of flicks its way out, tears your pocket slightly as it does so, stabs into the snow, carves very hard into the ground.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to check. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. Just because I've seen all the spirits behind you when you're in the thing. I'm obviously whispering to the knife, not saying it out loud.
A wind blows over the no, and the knife carves in safe.
Safe. So you're keeping them safe?
Blows over again. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Thought they might have been connected to the building. I just want to test something, and I take the knife and I like cut myself
Where? Just like
just on the side of my hand.
it goes straight through your skin. It does not
Okay.
interact with your skin at all.
Oh, so it's like a ghost knife?
Somewhat. It seems like it goes through, but if you go to the bone, it actually does hit the bone. And that's probably when you jolt back. Like, it doesn't seem to interact normally with flesh.
Weird. Put it back. Oh, pick up my phone after I put it back. And decide, I guess I'm just gonna text Lucas and be like, should I check anything, or where are you? Is everything okay?
On the way back to Hallstatt, first of all, Lucas, you receive a text message from Knives, which says exactly that. Do you respond at all?
I look to Father Lucio, who is we're driving, I would imagine. Yeah. Knives' phone sent me a message. Would it be okay if we all talked in your church?
Of course, my son. Just ask her where she is and we'll go pick her up.
And then I text, emergency, where are you?
I give him the corner of whatever street I'm on and then head to the corner.
Yeah, I relay that information to Father Lucio.
He knows the exact place and how to get there very quickly. Simply turns the car, makes his way through. After only a few minutes, maybe about 3 minutes, he parks off in the middle of Hallstatt where you are, Knives. You can see the car, and it's not one of the ones that Lucas has with the tinted windows and such. You can clearly see Father Lucio and Lucas from the inside. He still gets out of the car slowly, lumbers his way up, and then waves at you, gestures you over.
I head over and I nod respectfully.
There is a rising melancholy every step you take closer towards this car that floods at you from the knife.
It's gonna be okay.
It stays at sort of the same level as you step into the car. And it almost like buries itself further into your clothing to be more hidden.
I slide it so it's against my skin and under my coat.
The three of you are now in the car. And it is at this point where, Lucas, your phone rings. It's Matthew Deacon's number.
Pick it up immediately. Hello,
I'm in need of the doctor.
where are you?
I give him the address of the community center.
Not far away.
We're on our way now. Father Lucio is with us.
Just you, come inside. And I hang up.
I give the address. He wants me to go inside alone. I will be quick.
All right. I trust you. Come on. He drives back around, makes his way through. Another 4 minutes approximately pass when he reaches the youth community center and parks outside. Unlocks. He has a habit of locking the doors every time he drives anywhere, and then he unlocks them when you stop, and he lets you go.
The moment that we come to a stop and the lock is unlocked, I'm out of the car and I'm briskly walking, bordering on jogging.
What does Lucas see, Mr. Deacon, as
Lucas
they come inside?
We'll see Matthew just looking at Walter, making sure Walter is still breathing, still alive. but there doesn't seem to be much concern on his face. It's more of just a blank stare. He just looks at Walter. He barely even acknowledges that Lukas comes in. And as soon, like a few beats perhaps after he hears Lukas come in, he just says, "So, can you save him?"
Sorry, you're muted for that.
What happened?
It doesn't matter. Can you save him?
I need to know what happened so that I can save him.
I drank his blood. That's what we do.
All right, blood loss. He'll probably need to go to the hospital for some additional blood to put into his body. I can try to stabilize him until the ambulance arrives.
Matthew will mull that over. As he walks up to Walter, looks at him, and just starts thinking about Walter and how connected is Walter in the city? Has he got family here? Is
He definitely has family here. He studies at the same university that Rhiannon Zeitman and all these other people has. He's a musician as well, probably in a similar class. But he's a lot more quiet than a lot of the other kids. Not the most popular at the university.
There's a brief moment that flickers through his head of just finish the job. But then he thinks about the Second Inquisition, and then he thinks about all the work he's done to Walter to wrap him around in his influence, and just says, "Ambulance."
I call the ambulance, but I kind of, while it's ringing, I kind of have the phone out as if to give it to Matthew.
Matthew he'll hang up the phone. He'll push the little thing to hang it up. Reaches into Walter's pocket. And he just says to Walter, with oars still up, hopefully, he says, "You took a lot of drugs. You didn't listen to me. You took so much. You're gonna have to call the ambulance. Remember, this is our secret, okay?"
He looks like he nods, but he's very back and forth with his body language. But you can tell that he looks at you and he understands exactly what you say.
"So, I ring the phone. I ring your phone. What do you say?"
I need an ambulance.
As he's saying, I dial.
Yeah. You can hear him say, I need an ambulance. I've taken a lot of drugs. I need help at the youth center. Help. And you can hear the voice on the other end saying, "Yep, we'll be right there. Just stay put. Just keep talking to me."
Matthew drops the phone near him, starts to walk out. As he walks out, I'm guessing the door to the youth center has like a little window.
Yeah.
Just punches he just punches the window to make it look like maybe this kid broke in or something. And just walks into the car without saying a word.
And I follow suit.
Father Lucio is in the car. While this is happening, Knives, he sort of turns to you and looks at you through the rear view mirror and just... Rough night.
I don't think so.
Oh, good. It's just that Lukas seems pretty shaken up.
Actually, good point. And she gets out of the car and goes to check on them.
As you get out is when they are coming back and you sort of meet each other outside of the car. Dr. Lucio is just... Father Lucio is just looking at you guys from inside.
I don't even acknowledge Knives. I just walk right past her, go into the car. Just a vacant look in my eyes.
Lucas is constantly looking over his shoulder, looking around, even into the sky.
Mm.
She opens the door for Lucas.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And then he gets inside.
You all pile back into the car. Father Lucio sort of gives you all a patient smile, drives off up towards his church. Is there any discussion, or is it dead silence during this drive?
Matthew's just examining his dried blood hands and looking out the window at the blurring lights. Just once again a vacancy in his stare.
Did you get all the blood you needed?
Do we ever?
You know what I mean.
No, I'm no longer a bleeding corpse that's walking around. I'm just a regular old corpse.
Knives? Did you see anything?
No. Knives is gonna hold Lucas's head.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
I turn to Knives. I just say, kid, you said you didn't want any part of what was happening tonight?
Is there more to this story?
No, I'm just saying you're probably the smartest out of all of us.
She looks at Father Lucio and then back to them.
Father Lucio is kindly not listening deeply to what everyone is saying, just giving you all a patient smile when you meet his eyes. Very calming presence, a neutrality amongst everything. But you can feel the weight of the unspoken words, Knives, in this car. It's heavy, like there's a rain cloud just at the very top of the roof, bearing over everyone. It doesn't take long before you arrive at Father Lucio's church. He parks his car beside it, gets out of the car, simply...
As he gets out, I'll look over at Lucas and I'll just say, Kage, where is he?
There was a complication. I don't know where he is. And I don't know if he's coming back.
What do you mean?
I think we should have this talk inside of the church.
I look to Father Lucio as he's kind of half out the car, and I just say, Father, is there a place we can talk in private before we speak with you?
Of course. I have the downstairs area where I let people a bit down on their luck sleep. No one's there at the moment, luckily. I'll warm you all up some blood and let you speak amongst yourselves first. It's clear that you need it. I will be praying upstairs.
Thank you, Father, for tonight with the 3 lost souls that you're going to be shepherding in. I walk out, make my way there.
A few minutes pass. All of you make your way through the snow into the church. A cold building, no heating. The candles are the only heat that make their way through. And even then, most of them have been burnt out or blown out by a breeze. But you all get a warm cup of blood that if you have blood potency 1 or lower, you can slake a single hunger with. But after that, you are left alone downstairs in this cold basement.
I'll just leave my cup I'm not going to drink from it. I've already had my fill.
No
and
worries.
Having another drink would interfere with, out of game would interfere with the extras I get.
Yep.
I just sort of leave it to open to anybody else who wants to take.
I give mine to Lucas.
Doesn't work.
At all?
No. I'm thrice damned.
In the silence, as we're just sitting there, I close my eyes and I just say, Kage, show yourself. I know you're just hiding around like you usually do. Pop out of one of the shadows. Come on. Open my eyes.
It is the ghostly wail of wind through a window that answers your call. For as long as you wait.
Does anyone have his number?
Do you think Kage's got a phone?
Sorry.
You said there were complications, Lucas. They seemed pretty complicated from when I left. So,
Did they
what
all
I want
die?
to know, was it the three-eyed Salubre that killed Kage?
No. They tried to save him. Maybe they did. I don't know if he is gone. It's like when Knives was gone. It's another one of those situations, an unknown, but this time the stakes are far higher. So much higher.
What do you mean, so much higher?
Why was there no kumquat?
I saw something that I ran. I couldn't help it.
You ran. Kage was there fighting something, and you ran?
Matthew, stop it.
No, yeah, you're right. I walked away. I'm just as much at fault as anyone here.
Just
Sorry.
keep calm. We've got to find solutions to this problem, not make more problems, okay? Everyone's clearly upset.
I saw something that maybe I'll be a man of faith after this. Because what I saw, that girl you saw in the street, the photo you showed me, she was cut from navel to chin. Her organs were out of her body. Seemed like the same MO.
Yeah.
Serafina ran out of the house, terrified, and I got her close to me. The unicorn interposed, and that's when it came out. The only other Tremere, and he was cut from navel to chin. Except it wasn't just the organs coming out.
What was coming out?
He was like some kind of vessel. There was like a parasite or something in there, but a demon clawed its way out of his body. And it was so tall and winged, and all the Tremere kept saying was, that was it, that was it. And this thing, it looked and it pointed at the Salubri and it said, you'll do. And then I ran. I couldn't help it, I ran. It's one of those, I wanted to stay and help Kage like he's helped us. But I ran.
We all ran. None of us are there.
You weren't there to begin with, so you can't be blamed. Matthew needed to eat. You got a bad feeling and you left. I saw it, and I left him there.
It's not your fault. You can't help anyone else unless you protect yourself first.
We left him there. While the Salubri, the unicorn, whatever the fuck, while he was rampaging through, Kage was the only one of us that was brave enough to go. Lukas, you were brave too, braver than me, I guess.
What is a unicorn, though? I don't understand.
3 eyes.
It's another name for a Salubri.
It's the thing we woke up, the thing that was smart enough to not want to be part of.
Are you saying that this demon thing is looking for a new vessel? And we just gave it the strongest thing.
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, I hope you're praying now because we need Kage to kill that fucking thing. He's got to. There's no other way.
Oh,
Did you say Seraphina's still alive? So she didn't get fed to the delivery?
We both saw it, and we both ran.
Did you see where she ran to?
No.
It's still meant to be delivering a message to let everybody else know that Issa is attacking.
That's small compared to what's happening here.
I think it's just a whole pile of shit together, really, let's be honest. Sure. Okay. We're going to keep calm, right? Instead of blaming ourselves and each other, we are going to figure out a way that we can work on this together. Okay? Let's just think, because we can't just go rushing back there and being like, I need to find Kage, and then we'll get fucked up because that helps nobody. So we either need to ask for help or we need to come up with a plan and then put all these scenarios on the table.
Matthew, you were given a book, and you said something about exorcisms.
Yeah. Given to me by Poodle Kane.
Do you think Poodle Kane wanted us to do this so that it could be stronger, or that we could extract it from them and then... Because I don't think that he's trying to help us.
No.
I didn't even think of that.
But Eli... I don't know. Maybe Eli's trying to summon this thing. Maybe not. I don't know.
Whoever did it, they succeeded. I don't know if they have any control over it, but it's out.
It's a shame we don't have any Tremere here to ask any questions.
If we can find Seraphina, we find the person who knows Latin, right?
Exactly.
I imagine she is going directly to where her job has brought her to. Because I'm assuming that her companions are all dead. Am I correct?
But also with that means the breaking of whatever bond she had with them. I don't know. Maybe she's discovering herself now, stuck in some forest somewhere, realizing everything that's happened to her, all coming down at once, like the fog being removed from her face. I have a feeling she's still here.
I have a feeling that she's running into the arms of Adelaide.
Most likely.
She doesn't know what we did, what happened.
We didn't do anything.
But we did.
You did.
No, we did.
It's simple. We didn't do anything. We just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. The ritual got messed up. And now there's this thing out there. Something that Adelaide is somewhat responsible for. Because she's the one who put us on that job with the Tremere. So as far as we're concerned, we didn't do anything. It's her mess to clean up. And it's us that will clean up that mess because we have to. But we may as well get something out of it, right? Think on the brighter side. I may have burned my bridge with Isaac. Maybe Adelaide could be a way to go if we can convince her that we had nothing to do with this.
Well, if she even has a feeling that we had something to do with this, she would be able to strike us down with such elegance and speed we wouldn't even know that we're in the next life.
What
And I've
she's
seen that
capable
life.
of.
It's it's a limbo or oblivion. Perhaps we should ask Father Lucio what he knows about demons. He's a man of faith. And maybe, Matthew, you can confer with him.
Okay. Okay. I'll get up, walk out of the room, look for Father Lucio.
It's very easy to find him up the winding stairs, the next floor. He's kneeling in front of this grand collection of holy paintings that are put into this sort of threefold, beautiful archways at the very front by the organ, praying to himself, but your feet echo through. And just as he's wrapping up his prayer, he stands up, turns to you, gives you a big smile.
I'm not looking at him. I'm just kind of looking around at all the stained glass windows. And I can see some looking at me, and I just say, Did the Lord answer your prayers, Father?
Sometimes. Sometimes not. But I find in the darkest of times, he does. He is there.
Yeah. See, I know my angle here. I know the Lord I believe in. Not exactly as giving as your one, or the way your one's written. But they wear the same face, I feel. I just want to know what your angle is, Father. You're a true believer with the word of God?
I believe in the kinder parts, if you're asking. I believe in the forgiveness and the
Insight.
yeah, very well. You can make a wits insight check if
Can
you
I get
detect
my
lies.
+2? Sorry, I need to scroll up to my stats. To
That is
see those.
perfectly fine. In the meantime, is there any discussion between Knives and Lukas downstairs?
Lucas has his head hung low and is very much like a kicked dog, can't bring himself to look at Knives, even kind of twists his body, not as if expecting a kick, but expecting a social barb, even though they haven't really been given a reason to expect one.
Is there anything you do, Knives? You're muted, sorry. Go ahead.
She just stands up and slowly walks to the other side of the room and leans against the wall, giving him space, and just says, "It's not your fault." Not really expecting an answer, but she says it to the ear anyway.
How many successes, Matthew Deacon?
7 messy critical.
Messy critical. The messy critical. We're going to have a very interesting climb compulsion for this scene, as with shaken faith and perhaps renewed purpose in the same time, Father Lucio is quite the enigma to you. You want to unwind that ball of thread. He is.
7. Do I get any hints towards what is?
He
what
is. You can tell that he is one of the most honest people you've ever met. He is the opposite of everyone you've dealt with in this town. Everyone who's lied, cheated, stolen from you in all these different ways and kept you down. Father Lucio radiates this kindness, this acceptance. And with a messy critical, you can certainly discover one of his convictions. His one that you find out is hatred is a hindrance.
Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, which is a rarity these nights.
I am of the belief that we should only say what we mean and mean what we say.
I'm the opposite of that. As you can tell, I spent my whole mortal life lying. I spent all of my kindred and life lying. But there is one truth, and the one truth is God. Or at least, yeah, God, I guess.
It is not my place to judge you for these things.
Yeah. Judge. So you're the believer in the word of the Lord, then. You're the believer of everything our Lord has done.
Not well. I believe it. Whether I agree with it or not is a different story. There are some terrible things that he has done as well that I cannot agree with.
Yeah. Very inconsistent, very wishy-washy in a way.
Quite. But
Perhaps God was just discovering himself.
I think
Testing the waters.
so as well. And through that he found the ability or the divine blessing of forgiveness in himself, in his own wrongdoings. And so he found that so that he may forgive others for their own transgressions, their own sins, all of it.
Was it forgiveness, or did he just learn how to play the game a lot better?
Perhaps it is all a divine comedy, but if I step up to that stage and our Lord tells me that my part to play is over in this play, I will take a long bow.
Yeah. You know, Father, when I first heard about you, I thought, here's another person I can talk to, weave my tales to. But, you know, it's like you're the opposite of me. Opposite coin. A lot of honesty, a lot of genuineness. But I'm getting sidetracked. Demons.
Demons, fallen angels. What is this about?
Do you know much about them?
I know what the good book tells us. Angels fallen from heaven to create their own utopia below. But if you're asking any more than what the book says, I'm afraid I'm not the one to talk to.
If there was a demon walking around in the flesh right now, what would you do, Father?
I would simply pray, Mr. Deacon. Pray that this thing, whoever they are, finds the peace that they also deserve.
Well, I thank you for your hospitality, Father.
Of course.
I must head back to my group.
Please, you can stay as long as you like.
Do you know Latin, by the way?
I wish it would make all these readings so much easier.
That it would. Have a good night, Father.
And to you as well.
And as I'm walking away, as I'm sort of at the threshold of the stairs leading downstairs, I stop. And I just say, I sincerely mean this, Father. When the demon comes beckoning at your door, and you're praying and praying and praying, I hope you don't see God laugh right in your face, that you played right into his plans. I sincerely mean it.
You hear no response as you head back downstairs and meet with the silence and the distance in this empty room between Lukas and Knives.
He's a man of faith, all right. But that's all he is, a man of faith. Doesn't know much. You probably know more than him.
All right. I'll write a letter to Demetia, and maybe they will show up again when they learn something, given them enough time to pour through their tomes, to meditate on this crisis.
That sounds like a plan. Now, we got two options in front of us. We figure out what's going on, figure out our next move, or we just hunker down and we wait until we see the ashes and see where everything lays and find our move from there.
I really want to go looking for him.
Sorry, what did you say?
I really want to go looking
Okay.
for him.
Kage?
Serafina. Mostly Kage.
So do I. But
But I don't feel like it's the best idea either.
no, that's why I'm leaning towards hunkering down and waiting to see where things lay.
I know
here
he
for
can
now.
get out of there if he needs to.
Yeah. That's what we gotta believe, right? It's a matter of faith.
Well, no, I've just seen him physically do it before, so...
So. Well, while we wait here, we can either wait here in silence.
Oh, you're not gonna read us some scripture?
I'm not in the biblical mood tonight.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Lucas, do you need me to get you anything?
I don't think that you would. My tastes would weigh heavy on you.
Do you need me to get you anything?
How about some nice loin?
Very well. Head off on a road trip then. Got your preferences of loin? I don't know much about your code words in there.
Not too much rot.
Got it.
Sippy.
I would like to, now that we are kind of waiting and being far more careful, I would like to examine and feel out the rose wand that I picked up from when we were at the base.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to attempt to use it? If you would like to
Do
make
I
it...
have a feeling on how I would use it?
Not quite. That's the thing about these objects is they don't always give away exactly what they do. But you can certainly make an intelligence occult to try and figure out what it is, or get a vague sensation of what it might be. And
Would Sense the Unseen or Scry the Soul work on something like this?
you will be able to get an aura if you use Scry the Soul on it, but that will sort of give you a bit of info, but not exactly what it'll do. It'll give you more of like a vibe or like what it's giving off. For example, if you Scry the Soul on a knife, whatever the resonance is that it's going, you will see in the aura.
I'm just looking for any additional advantage that I can utilize.
The only advantage is if you will work with knives to figure out what this does. As this, whatever this does, is not quite your specialty, but knives, you have a inkling what it might be able to do.
I would have stayed anyway with Lucas. Do you want me to have a look?
If the two of you work together, make an intelligence occult, and you can add 2 extra dice because knives is working with you.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna make my way up. See the father again, and I'll just say, Did you expect me to come back so soon?
Well, like our Lord, we work in mysterious ways.
Our mutual friend needs nourishment. Do you know of anyone in the cemetery that's been buried? Well, not too long ago.
Unfortunately, no. The only deaths that happened have been the 2 young girls recently. So, I suppose you would have to go to the hospital if you want something like that. Everything down there is bone.
Yeah. Do you mind if I take your car?
Not at all. He passes you the keys. Please. Just don't bang it up too badly.
Try to get the blood off the upholstery.
That would be appreciated.
Try being the key word.
I will make... Let's get a hunting roll from Mr. Deacon.
I was going. I was not going to go to the hospital.
Oh, okay. What's your plan of attack?
My plan was to get in contact with the most low-life of low-life drug dealers I know.
Mm-hmm. Very easy for you to do.
And coerce them to come with me or kill them and take them with me.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Lukas a fresh meal tonight.
Let's get a wits... actually, let's get a charisma streetwise check.
Also, I'll try to look out for any tarps while I'm like going to the car to like pad the boot up with. So
They're considering Demetia and Lucio are partners. There's lots of tarps and lots of things available for Demetia's particular feeding habits.
was that a charisma streetwise?
Charisma streetwise, indeed. How many successes, Lucas? 4. As you're sort of looking it over, eyeing it, Knives, you get a bit of a strange pull towards it. You seem to understand it a bit more. Whatever this thing is, there is blood magic involved with whatever it is. And you let Lukas know, Lukas, this makes sense. You seem that this is a tool used in blood sorcery. Between the two of you, you understand that this wand allows you to cast any blood sorcery ritual up to the 3rd level, but not of the 3rd level, without knowing the ritual.
Hey,
Even-
Lucas.
So
Boost it.
all 1st level and 2nd level rituals of blood sorcery you can cast with this wand without knowing the ritual.
Even without knowing blood sorcery at all.
Absolutely. It has an innate ability to cast it.
Can we not give this to Matthew, though?
I took it.
How do you put that? Do you just like soak it for ages, or how
This
does it
isn't really my thing. This
get it in there?
I deal with spirits, wraiths, knowledge of the underworld, decay, things like that. Not so much witchcraft.
Well, if you promise not to tell Matthew, I have a secret. I've just been messing with some shit, and I heard something once, and sometimes I can like taste people's blood and know what they are. Apparently that's bad, according to Matthew, so I don't want to tell him.
Like you, what, can taste people's emotions? Is that something we can all do?
Yeah, more.
More? Like what?
I haven't tried it out because I'm too scared.
He's gone.
Do you reckon he'll be gone for long?
It usually takes a bit of time to get something for me. I've got a curative palate.
Nom, nom, nom. Okay, so in this book, I read that you can identify who it actually belongs to, whether it is immortal, a ghoul, or a vampire, or any other supernatural creature. I don't know how intense it goes into that. Also, I can tell if someone has done bad stuff. But again, I'm too scared to. Like, it's just, I don't.
Oh, that's
It's
fine.
scary.
I understand. Have you tried it out on yourself? Can you even try it out on yourself? Maybe unearth secrets about yourself you don't know, right? Because you said that you don't know what clan you are. I mean, you
I know.
could
I was gonna get what's her face to do it, and then I was too scared to give her my blood because what if she stole it and tracked me or something?
No, that's a valid fear. You don't give Tremere your blood.
She was real nice to me. Gave me a cup. It's nice. I don't know. Maybe. What happens if I do it to myself? I'm just gonna do it
Okay.
right here, right now.
Are you using the wand to cast these? You're using your own blood sorcery. So, what particular blood sorcery are you using?
It's a taste for blood.
Do you
but I
have-
don't actually think it tells you what your thing is.
Taste for blood. So, let's. Do you have Blood Walk? The
No,
ritual?
I only have that one.
No.
Does it need to have blood walk?
You do get a free level 1 ritual when you purchase blood sorcery. But if you have blood walk, it extends the information that you learn from Taste for Blood.
Okay.
So,
I only have that one.
yep, no problem. So, make a resolve and blood sorcery check. Meanwhile, Matthew Deacon, how many successes?
So I made a mistake when I rolled. I accidentally rolled with with one hunger dice that I shouldn't have rolled.
Ignore.
but-
Ignore.
Okay. Well, so I've got 1, 2, 3 criticals. Well, like 3 tens.
Okay.
And a 1, so that's 6 in total. But one of them is one of the hunger dice.
So you have one too many hunger dice?
Yeah.
We'll ignore that if you just have an extra dice. For the sake of time, we'll just ignore it. You find
critical.
exactly the person. You know exactly where they are, exactly the street corner at this time of night, this time of the year. This person's your man. And you go, you pick him up. He's like, what's your sort of line or like reasoning that you give him?
I just say, I got a party with a lot of buyers. A lot of buyers wanting to buy that cocaine you got.
Boom. He is in. He is in the car coming with you. Do you just bring him with you or knock him out?
So I have a question regarding Lucas's feeding.
Mm.
Do the bodies need blood in them?
As part of the process, yes. You can't. I don't believe you can eat ones that are empty because it's part of the process of having bloody flesh.
I will. I will take him to an area around where the lake shore is, and I'll just say, "Party's down here. Come on, follow me." And as he's following me, I will try to convince him to walk in front of me as I'm going. Yeah, it's that way. Sorry, I got to do my shoes up.
With your earlier roll, no problem. He is in front of you, looking around, constantly talking about how good this is going to be, how much money he's going to make.
And as he's walking ahead, I am going to rouse check
Mm-hmm.
to do my serpent-like fang feral weapons.
Your feral weapons, yes.
Another success, thank God. And I'm going to try to sneak up behind him, grab him by the mouth with my free hand, and then just...
Considering he is completely with you and that he is surprised and expecting it, and that you have aggravated damage against him, no roll necessary. You simply go up behind him, I imagine slit his throat quite nicely. Within moments, he's unconscious.
After knowing that Lukas needs the blood after he's dead, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold down on the wound to allow the blood to clot. And once it's clotted, go to the lake, wash myself off a little bit, and drag the body into the trunk and take it back to the church. Do I take stains?
Indeed, you do. I believe one of our convictions is against the Chronicle Tenants. Guilty should suffer. I will say this is against... This person isn't as guilty as you'd like. Well, since it's not directly against anything, just a single stain for a man might not have been completely worthy. But, you know, you've done worse. You've done worse. And look, maybe it is a good thing that he's out of it.
Once he's in the trunk, I'll start rifling through his pockets, grab as much stuff for my own personal selling.
Wad of cash, bit of cocaine, bit of other things. Everything you could need or want. And you make your way back. How many successes, Knives?
How does critical work again? Because I got...
If you get 2 10s...
One's on blood and one's on normal.
So that's a messy critical. If any of the blood dice are part of the critical, it becomes messy.
Okay, that's what makes it messy. Okay,
Yep.
I finally understand.
You are going to suffer your clan's compulsion for the rest of the scene. Which, off the top of my head, is if you need to slake...
Judgment.
Kindred blood that are going against their convictions as judgment in this scene. Otherwise, you have a -2 dice on anything until you do that. As you're doing it,
my God.
Knives, you've studied this a little bit. You slice into your arm, you start drawing the symbols, and you taste your own blood slightly. But as you do so, you sort of eye Lukas, and Lukas, you can see it as she does it. There's this strange ferocity in Knives' eyes that you've never seen before. And she is eyeing you up very closely. Perhaps sizing you up, or perhaps trying to see further beyond your physical stature, judging whatever you are. And how many successes did you get in total?
Just the 2 10s.
Okay, so it's 4 in total, 4 successes, which is what you needed. The difficulty is 3. Your own blood. You learn through that, dabbing it on your tongue. The resonance that you've sort of picked up that constantly is changing between the knife, the blood is definitely that of a vampire. You learn your own blood potency. And since it is a critical win, you learn, have you ever committed diablerie before?
I know the answer to that.
You also learn your generation, and you know that you are, and now that you can, all you need to do is taste the blood of another supernatural creature, of a vampire, and you can tell that it's a vampire after this. That is what you learn.
I don't know if it
Would
worked.
you... Go ahead.
Nothing happened.
Well, it did, but I don't know how I'm meant to tell what clan I'm from if I'm tasting my blood. She said she could do it. I don't really understand. I guess I just need to learn it.
Maybe you need special ingredients or under some kind of moon. I'm not sure.
Well, I also could tell something from this.
Oh.
Also, so when I became what I am, I woke up and I kind of just ate the person that was looking after me.
How much?
All of it. and that's why I eat bags.
Well, sounds like they got what was coming to them. They killed someone. You killed the killer.
Doesn't that mean that people need to kill men now?
I won't tell if you won't. We're not part of the Camarilla or the Anarchs.
I suppose we were just trying to kill 3 true men. Like, okay. Are we bad people?
By the very nature of what we are driven to do bad things. But so long as we have control, we can decide to do the lesser evil. We are not saints. We prey on the living. Some of us prey on each other. Some just eat animals as long as they can. I don't know if the old ones can do that, but I don't really ask those questions to them. I usually stick away. They creep me out. No.
Well, that's why I don't know anything about anything anyway.
If you have questions,
I always ask them.
ask them. I mean, we've got time until they come back.
I don't know. It's hard asking questions when you really don't know what the questions are to ask. I
Sense.
think I'm learning on the job. It's nice to be around other people. Just other.
Matthew, as you're driving back, you do notice on your drive back up towards the church a light on in the darkness of a home that you haven't seen lit up the entire time you've been here. Across the lake in Obertraum, at the edge, Schloss Grub Manor has a light on for the first time you've ever seen. Like a large being, the home looks like a face staring back at Hallstatt.
I look at the light from across the lake as I pull up, and I keep on looking at it as I open up the trunk, drag the body out. And think about how in an hour or so we've got to do some admin first. And I drag the body in, open the doors, see the father, and I just say, Father, is the confessional free? As I'm just dragging this body in.
You can take it downstairs or the confessional as well, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I don't think our youngest member really wants to see what's going to happen.
Very well.
Drag the body into the confessional. All in a night's work, eh, Father?
Many restless nights, and so many more to come.
I want to know how I became the errand boy. I guess I offered. I did offer. And I make my way to the stairs, and I is there a door to the room?
There is not. It's actually quite open going down.
Okay. So I'll just like knock on a stone pillar as I'm. Your food has arrived. Very fresh. Line. Confessional needs you. Gotta confess your sins.
Oh.
I could have. What?
Could have what?
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Knives. I give this to you as a present. The rose wand.
Thank you.
I'm going to go now.
You enjoy snack time.
I think while Lucas feeds is when we're going to take our usual break time. We'll be back in 5 to 7 minutes. Come back for more of what's about to happen in Hallstatt by Night. See you shortly. We are all unmuted. Welcome back, everybody, to Hallstatt by Night. We're going to just jump straight back into it as Lucas is off feeding in the confessional booth. We come to Matthew Deacon and Knives in this basement alone together.
As soon as Lucas walked away, Matthew, I'm assuming there's like little cots in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Matthew would have just sat in one, the springs creaking as he sits down, and just heavily sigh, and he'll just look around, look over at Knives. What's Knives doing?
Just staring at him, probably.
Do you have the blood wand, by the way, or are you hiding that? I'm guessing you're hiding that.
No, I tucked it up my sleeve.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll just say the Knives. I'll just say, what you staring for?
Just. You okay?
Do you care?
Of course I care.
I got good intuition. I've tried my utmost best to help you.
Mm-hmm.
But I just get a lot of stone walls. Maybe it's just we don't get along. You know, you're not like Kage. At least with me and Kage, we can banter back and forth. Maybe we just, I don't know. So, I repeat my question. Do you really care? Or are you just asking to be polite?
Well, my mama always did teach me to be polite, and that family is everything. And you all are my family, kind of, now. And maybe you have this tendency just to assume what you think people are thinking, but you are trying so hard to let what you think is happening projected onto them, when really maybe you should just take a step back and let things happen a bit more naturally.
The thing is, when you step back, when you stop gripping onto that, on controlling the situation, that is when you become the mark. That is when somebody else is swindling you and putting the wool against your eyes.
Do you think I'm swindling you now?
No,
Oh,
but I'm not
see
going to
how
let
this
you.
is.
I'm not going to let anyone. And that's just how I am.
Yeah, I get it.
I came from a place where I didn't have a lot of control. An upbringing where I didn't have a lot of control. So I apologize if my constant need to convince people to do what is in my best interest, what is in my best survival, not even just mine, our best survival, doesn't work with you. I apologize for that, but I ain't gonna change. And doing what you suggested, letting go, not assuming what people are thinking. That's how you fall behind. At least that's my perspective anyway.
Well, my perspective is that I care about a whole bunch of shit. And you may want me to change my mind. And sometimes you might change my mind. Sometimes you won't. But that is me. That's not the mortal aspect of me. It's not the kindred aspect of me. That's just who I am at my core. And then I will let you know when I think you're being stupid, if that means I'm going to survive, because that's all I've got. Now, it's just me. I've had a whole journey of just falling in with the bad people. Who knows? I might be in with the wrong people again. We don't know until it happens. But I will always make sure my survival is number one. So if you think I'm being stupid, sure, tell me I'm being stupid. But I will also tell you when I think you're being stupid.
I apologized the night that I lost my temper with you. But I didn't mean it. I'm sorry that I lost my temper with you. But this is me being sincere now. I won't apologize for you for trying to help you. So I apologize for losing my temper, but as I said, don't apologize for helping. At least my version of helping.
We do what we believe in. That's all we can do.
Yeah. You, Actually, I do have one thing I do have to legitimately apologize for.
You seem to apologize a lot.
Well, this one's legitimate.
Okay.
There was a little lie I told to help push you to the path that, well, I'm glad you didn't take. The whole blood sorcery thing, yeah, it's not it's not evil. It's just like any of our abilities, really. I thought, maybe if you thought it was purely evil, you'd be more in line to stick with the plan. I should have known you were a bit more of a free spirit than that. And Eli's not a Tremere. Or at least he told me he's not a Tremere. Toreador. Whether or not that's true, yeah. Who knows? Don't think it really matters. But I did mean what I said to you the night that that you were driving away from this place. I was hoping that the unicorn would be able to help us, but he's going to get what's coming to him. Don't you worry.
I get up and I walk over to him and I just fucking slap him in the face.
Okay. Yeah.
And I walk out.
As emotions run high and words are exchanged, the night slowly comes to an end. And our group find themselves, without Kage making an appearance, asleep underneath the church, safe during the day, as it rises, forcing you all down into torpor again, until eventually the next night comes around, and I will get all of you to make a rouse check to see how your body feels. If you have any damage you'd like to heal, you may.
Just out of character thing.
Mhm.
When I was in the confessional having my bite to
Yes.
eat,
How hungry are you?
I was at a 2.
Oh, you can put that down to... Well, by the time they get to you, they will be dead. So you will be able to put down to 1.
What my intention is
Mhm.
to harvest it for all of the meatier bits so that I can kind of come back later for food.
You'll be able to get the other 2 points in worth in organs and bag those as you usually do. I imagine you usually you're very prepared for all these sorts of things. And so mark somewhere on your sheet that you have 2 dots of hunger worth of organs stored just in case. And you all awaken this next night. Still no sign of Kage. Still a silent room. The only thing breaking the silence is the wind. That has quieted
I
down
would-
slightly.
Be playing the tape recorder back.
Mhm.
It's my morning ritual. Or any spare moment ever is just like listening to the video. Well, the recording.
Agent Penny's voice is not exactly the nicest thing to listen to, but a lot of her tidbits and a lot of her different things. It starts to get more and more personal the further back you go. Penny and Jacobs together getting cherry pie down at a diner somewhere. The 2 of them enjoying some of the finer Austrian food and locations that they can, stopping in Vienna for a short time and making their way through. It gets more and more personal, learning more about the 2's relationship, their friendship together, and how long they've been working together. Penny seems almost playful with Jacobs when they're by themselves, hanging shit on him, so to speak, in so many ways. And he's more quiet, and you can occasionally hear him snickering in the background, but Penny's always the loudest. That is what you hear.
I'll get up and hearing the noises. I'll look over at Lukas. What's Lukas doing?
They're just laying there, eyes cast up at the ceiling, vacant expression, just
You'll see Matthew kind of come into your vision, just like sort of peering over you. And I just say, "Care to go with a walk with me?"
that is the least I can do. Thank you again so much for that meal. I needed it.
You're welcome. Hope it was nourishing. I wasn't sure what kind of condition you wanted him in.
Exactly that.
Okay, got it.
Rise and opposite of shine, everybody. Also, Matthew, I forgive you.
If you don't mind, Knives, Matthew and I are just going to take a little walk and talk. Unless I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah. Listen to the... Can you do me a favor, Knives? You got a little notebook with you? I'm sure we can find one somewhere.
I have
mean-
a piece of paper.
You know that I always have something on me. You can use it
Of
if you
course.
want.
While you're listening to that, you may as well try to, I don't know, figure something out. Write stuff down. Maybe it will help things stick a bit more. I don't know. While we have a walk and have a look at the lake. Is that okay, Knives?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I'll walk out.
Two of you find yourselves at the beginning of the Easy Forestall Trail, as it's connected quite closely to this area. Beautiful walk. With
I'm looking out at the manor. Is
Mm.
it still lit?
It is not anymore. Seems you're the only person to glimpse the light on.
I'll say to Lucas, I'll say, you know, you got it, you got it pretty made.
How do you mean?
Oh, you know, everyone kind of likes you. You know, nobody has an issue with you.
That is quite the compliment. I just try not to.
Hell, I like you.
And I like you, Matthew, for what it's worth. Now more than ever since you got me that prime loin.
Yeah. What's your angle? I haven't broached this topic with you yet. We've just kind of had this unspoken... leadership's not the right word, but it's like we play off each other, you know? We both help make the decisions. Yeah. So, it's time we broach the topic. What is it you want?
That's a fair question. After last evening, to survive,
Before last evening?
to thrive.
Gonna have to be a bit more specific than that.
I wanted to. Are we talking about before Rhiannon or after Rhiannon?
Why not both?
So long as you oblige me the same after.
Oh, favor for a favor, right?
Before Rhiannon, I was bored. I was reaching a dead end, and that pun is intentional. Necromancy is a slow thing. But when you find that milestone, it's a mixture of horror, revulsion, and scientific progress, a breakthrough. I wanted to chase that feeling, to master it, to know with certainty what was on the other side, to do something about it, to shape it, to change it, not to rule it. I do not seek to rule. That seems like so much effort and so much danger. An advisor is much more something in my field, or just a librarian. Can you keep a secret?
Yeah, if you ask Knives, I can't, but Pumbaa's the word.
After Rhiannon died, I didn't feel, well, I did. I felt bad. I felt emotional, which is something that's not very common to me.
Not very Lucas of you.
It's not very me. Smiles hurt my delicate face. But after Rhiannon died, there was a period where I was a bit of a wreck. I internalized it. But deep down, I felt like something like this was going to happen eventually. If not Rhiannon, something quiet villages, towns. They have secrets. They have maggots festering underneath the skin, just waiting to come out. And it just so happened to be Rhiannon. And after she died, I was distraught, yet fascinated. I wanted to ask her spirit. I wanted to find her spirit, ask her what had happened. Truth be told, I didn't think that this little mystery of ours was going to be as deep and malevolent as it is. And down the rabbit hole I went. So too long, didn't read. I wanted to master the dark arts. And now I just want to survive. But now it's your turn.
Now it is my turn. But before I do believe I have something of yours that I forgot to give back. I give him back the little mirror that he gave me. Apologies. I actually forgot I had it.
No, it's quite all right. Hopefully they didn't earworm you too much.
No, not a peep. That's why I forgot. All right, my turn. You see that over there? That manor across the lake?
Sure.
I want that.
The building or the
building.
status? Oh, okay.
Well, why not both? I was on the ground floor of the whole bubble bursting for the housing crisis. I swindled a lot of my congregation stateside to donate, buy houses, put them in great debt. And it crashed. It burst. And before it did, I saw the writing on the wall. I came running, and I want to do the same here, but with a little bit more influence, because the problem is that I figured out what the problem was. The whole thing burst because I was not. There were a lot of big fish in that huge pond. Now this place, this is a small pond. You got 2 medium-sized carps here. Well, maybe 3 medium-sized carps. I would like to be the shark that gobbles them up. Now, whether that's actual proper influence or a whisperer in someone's ear, we'll see. But that's what I want. I thought we were getting somewhere with our little group. And now with Kage in the wind, this demon. And I don't know. I guess survival too. But survival and trying to get what I want at the end of it. That would be the goal.
It sounds like what you're after is very much what I'm after. You want to survive and to thrive.
Exactly. Now, there comes the question. Our friend, Knives, and to a lesser extent, Kage, they're very much hands for hire. I guess. I don't know. Knives is very hard to read, very hard to control. Maybe control's the wrong word. Very hard to predict. I usually can read people, usually can play them like a fiddle. Yeah, her not so much. Kage, he may think he has the best. We're on equal ground, but I know how to push his buttons. So where do they fit in this picture?
I think that if you would have asked me at the very beginning of this, the very, very beginning, I could not be less interested in any of you, including yourself.
Try not to take that personal.
No, I think we all deserve honesty. I stayed out of your way. I stayed in my lane. I did what I wanted to do. Kept interruptions to other people at a minimum. That's how I like things. I don't like to step on toes because then they come crying or yelling or huff and puff and the house blows down. And that is so very annoying. It takes so long to build things back up. But, well, we're not at the beginning anymore, are we? We've been trauma bonded. We've gone through things. We've seen things. We've spoken to big fish, not medium fish. We've uncovered conspiracies. We have suspicions, and they run deep. So where they fit into the picture now. For better or for worse, whether you like it or not, we will be a unit, not a family, not a kumbaya circle, not a congregation, a unit. And we are a unit to survive. That's what it's all come boiling down to now, survival. After we, if we can deal with this calamity, and we do it right, you get to be the shark, I get to be the boring old librarian. Kage can brood and knives. I have a feeling you're more interested about knives than Kage and how she fits into the picture.
Yeah, because, as I mentioned, can't control, can't predict.
I have some advice.
Go for it.
Given freely, of course. Have you tried to not control her, I mean? To not guide her or control her or to steer her or to suggest? Not yet.
The long
Not
game.
now.
I'll have to fight with my nature for that, but I can hopefully do it.
Don't fight with your nature. Compromise with it.
Yeah. I don't like unpredictability. You've seen me when I talk. I can weave my way through a conversation like no one's business. And to not be able to do that, now that scares me a little. And what I'm terrified of is not surviving. I feel like we can't survive. We're strong enough as a unit to survive. But what I'm scared of is when we thrive, I'm not going to be able to predict that knife coming in my back.
The knife from Knives? Or from any of us?
From knives. I understand you, Lukas, or I feel like I understand you well enough. I understand Kage. Don't understand her. And as I said, terrifies me. But that's something that we can worry about after we survive, I guess.
I don't think that she is a threat to you if you do not make yourself a threat to her. If you come across as someone who is tyrannical, manipulative, someone that wants to worm their way into their head or their soul.
It's like
They-
you're reading off my biography, right? Okay, no, that's fine. I got it. I got the picture. Truth be told, this isn't the only reason why I brought you out here. Building, the one that Chris has forgotten how to pronounce.
Schlossgrub.
Schloss group.
Schloss.
He'll probably like do that. Just like,
Yeah.
The building. The building. The light was on last night.
The light.
Yeah.
In that building.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see a figure at all?
No, just the light. Like a face looking back at me.
Did you feel anything? Did you see anything other than the light?
No, but it's enough of a coincidence to really bother me. But I feel like this is a discussion best had as a unit. So good group talk. Leader 1 to leader 2.
Before we head back, honesty, as we all deserve, like I said. I am Knives is young. She doesn't have a mentor. She's figuring it out on the job. I would like to be available for her. So you can now perceive me as a threat if you wish, or believe that she will use me as one of her knives. But though there are no sides, we are on our own sides. I wish to bring a measure of clarity, and if I'm lucky, peace to that poor child.
Honesty. What you just told me scares the shit out of me.
Why? Let's walk, but why?
As you said, threats. Thinking of you as a threat. Thinking of you as someone who could be used as a knife to stab in my back, or even if you use the knife to stab into my back. I think I said one time that this is all a big elaborate game of figuring out the next move. And since we're being so open and honest, I'm trying to figure out yours.
Ask yourself why I would have helped you when you were overflowing with blood from your spectral wounds, when you said that when you wished to give up, when you were in the throes of what I was in last night, I said to you, I guided you.
Yes. You did. Maybe it's just the paranoia talking, but maybe it's just that you're not done with me yet. But let me put it this way, Lucas. Let's draw a line in the sand right now. Draw one right across the sand. I will be as useful to you as long as you return that back.
There will be very few assets willing to employ what I know and what I can do for someone whose lineage is universally viewed with a side eye.
You know, I never thought about it till now. All of us are kind of outsiders, right? We're not one of the main ones. We're not one of the core pillars. We're not revolutionaries. We're all outsiders.
I like to keep it that way.
Good chat, Lukas. I think you put my mind at ease.
Hopefully not too much.
Never too much.
As you walk back and regroup with Knives, what is our next plan of action as a group?
I'm looking at Matthew expectantly to share with the group.
So, you know that creepy. You pronounce it, Lukas. You heard me stumble.
Yes.
Yeah, that one. I saw a light come from there last night. I was getting Lukas's food. First time I've seen it lit up. Could be a coincidence. Most likely not. So we're looking for somewhere to go. We're looking for our next move. That's possibly a place.
I've heard lots of people talk about that place.
Yes, same. And we have seen its pets outside of my work.
Well, we assume.
Kill.
We don't know.
As far as I know, there is only one fiend in the area. But you're right.
I thought that was trying to kill Kage.
Well, it could have, but it seemed to be watching, hiding.
I am going to touch the knife and whisper at it. Do you know where Kage is?
There's a flood of confusion, of groundedness and apathy that sort of goes through. Get a sense that no, but even if they did, they wouldn't care.
Okay, I stopped whispering at my own chest like a weirdo.
So Kage is either no longer with us or is very badly damaged and needs to rest up. I'm hoping, I'm praying that it's the latter.
Do we go see Adelaide and see if... Oh, what's her name? I'm mind blanking. Serafina? Yeah. Should we go and see if Serafina's there? Before we go and...
I am leaning towards what Lukas said last night about how she will know. She has ways of knowing.
She knew that I was writing things down. She knew my technique.
So going there might be going into the lion's den. But this is an open group. It's an option. The more well, not as... What do I know about Zamisi?
I don't know, considering how old you are and how rare Samiti are these nights.
Would I at the very least know that they are known for being not... Is hospitable the right word?
Like, yeah, hospitable.
Being hospitable to guests.
You've probably read Dracula. You probably put two and two together. Hospitable to friends and guests that do not spark their ire, indeed.
Okay. I'll just say, well, I don't know much about the Fiends, but I know that they're very hospitable to friends and guests. Now, we might not fit into that category, unfortunately, but we do have bags with their pet. Now, call me crazy, but let's say we go there with said bags as a peace offering to say, we're sorry we didn't know. Here's your materials back. Offer a gift to them. They offer a gift of hospitality back to us. We see what's going on there.
We play the angle of hospitality. We ask, we come as not friends, but we come to make amends.
Exactly.
We come in the spirit.
How much of that guy is left from last night?
I mean, I only took the more meaty organs. The rest of him are completely fine.
Yeah, the stuff you don't need. Stuff that's not useful to you, but might be useful to as a gift.
There is plenty of raw material left. Like I said, I only take really major materials for myself.
It is risky.
One moment. I need to speak with Father Lucio. Out of character, I need to go to the bathroom.
But go for it. So it sounds like we're heading to Schlossgrub, or the Grub estate. How does Knives feel about all this?
That's literally what I was going to ask. When Lucas later, Knives.
I feel so excited.
You say it like
That's
that?
what you wanted me to hear, right? Like, you want me to say that? Yeah, that's a great idea.
I know it's not exactly the greatest idea, but out of our options, it might be the safest. Isaac, I've burnt a bridge with him. D's not going to get back to us until after D's read the letter. Adelaide is dangerous.
I mean, and this random person on the hill isn't?
We haven't pissed them off too much. And we know things as well.
But Serafina.
Okay. Serafina.
No stuff.
How do you propose we look for Serafina other than going to Adelaide?
She could know stuff about rituals that could help us. If we could get to her before she leaves to go on her mission.
Yeah, but once again, where do we find her? Do you have any way?
We're just assuming she went back to Adelaide, right? Does she even know where Adelaide is? Or was it... No, because it was Oliver. Fuck. Do you know how to track people?
No.
How do we figure that out?
I go, oh, fuck. I get my phone, dial Kira's number. And I dial Kira's number. Does it ring through? Does she answer?
Yeah, Kira answers. She says, "Oh, Matthew, hello. How was your night?"
Yeah, it was interesting. Kira, I owe you a new house.
It's fine. It's fine. I just crashed on my friend's sofa. It was actually kind of a nice night.
I mean, I owe you a new house.
That's okay. You've always, come through with your promises for me. So it's okay. I trust you, Matthew.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, it's good. I'll sort you out. You know how it is. I mean, I got you that one. I'll get you another one. Yeah. So I apologize for that, but I'll get you another one. It's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to, yeah. So if you could just crash at your friend's place for a little while I sort everything out. Oh, and by the way, just keep an eye out for somebody who's got like long white hair, bit of a witch's hat. I mean, it's not Halloween, but kind of dressed a little Halloweeny. Let me know if you ever see him.
Okay, I'll call you first thing.
Thank you.
I imagine you make this call as you're sort of driving towards this looming white 2-story estate that is always in view, no matter where you are in Hallstatt or Obertraum.
We are going there.
I thought we were, but maybe we're not.
I don't. I think. Well, okay. Very quick. When Lukas comes back, put my phone down. Right. Okay. Dealt with that. My friend's gonna let me know when they see someone. It's probably as best as we got. We need a plan to do something right now. We need to figure out what we're doing. We're going to the place. We're going to Adelaide. What are we doing?
My vote is to go to Schlachsgrub Manor, or the estate of. We play it very carefully. Honesty and etiquette. And if you can't do either one of those things, silence at the very least. And the gifts. Don't forget the gifts.
What do I give as a gift?
Oh, Matthew and I spoke about the gift.
Okay. It sounds fun. Let's go.
Just, have you read Dracula?
No, my mum said they were bad and just to read normal things.
Right.
She did teach me how to make wine, though, which
well, that it
is
seems
super handy now.
Yeah, very. Just when we are on their territory, their domain, treat every step like you are walking on sacred ground.
So, obfuscate, no obfuscate, no?
No disciplines, vampire powers. No, be as respectful as you can.
Yeah,
don't give away secrets, but
only talk when you're spoken to, and don't answer any questions that you can't speak the truth to. Go.
And would I know that the Zemis have some sort of connection with animals or the land? Like, what is my breadth of knowledge for the Tremere? Because I do remember being fascinated by them.
The difficulty is the rarity of these creatures, especially nowadays. If you read Dracula, if you did a bit of research, you would definitely understand that a lot of the Tremere abilities come from them as well. And with a control and understanding of the land comes with it the control and understanding of animals and the natural world. You would have a vague sense. You probably may have seen the abilities that Gangrel can use and assume that it's something similar to that.
Okay. Lukas is going to operate on the interpreted information from Dracula and just go from there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now go ahead. I think we've decided.
So
we've decided
the two slain pets and the fresh body of what was in the got it. Cool.
You drive around Hallstatt all the way through to Obertraum, then just to the edge where there's the parking space where there's some lovely restaurants overlooking the lake, and then there is a wild patch of just wild grass, fences, and things between you and Schlossgrub. There is no possible way without using Obfuscate to approach this in a stealthy manner. Go ahead.
Am I able to just kind of have my eyes of sense the unseen on?
Of course, it is a quiet night. People are stuck inside because of the whatever the word is, where they can't go out after a certain amount of time of the night. Yes, curfew. Thank you. And so you keep your senses aware, and as you are approaching this place, going through the fences, making your way through this rough grass, Lukas, using without a roll, you can hear the things that rummage through the grass that sound like some sort of wild animal, but with perhaps too many limbs or whatever it may be that makes its way through. Unseen but heard. That sort of follow you along as you make your way up towards this gigantic manor. And you stand, all three of you, at the front door of Schlossgrub Estate that overlooks. The lake is at your back currently, the Hallstatt Sea. The dark wooden doors with their lions' heads gripping their teeth around the rings at the front. The door knockers. And it stands quietly, dimly, no lights on inside.
Reach forward very slowly. Knock, knock, knock.
It reverberates, both through the manor and outside. You wait a moment, in the darkness, in the stillness, before the door gently opens. Only a crack. Doesn't open all the way for you, but it just opens slightly.
I look over at my companions and then look back at the door.
Does it look like there was anyone that was responsible for the opening of said door?
Difficult to tell. You've seen a lot of people do this, such as at Eli's Manor and such before, but it could have been unlocked the whole time, and perhaps Deacon's force opened it on its own. Hard to tell.
Are we at Eli's house?
No, different manor.
Oh, that's what she says out loud.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Well,
Perhaps we should ask verbally if we can come in.
can we come in?
The door slowly opens by an unseen force.
Thank you. And I grab the garbage bag. I assume, does somebody else have the remains of the person, or are we leaving that in the car?
I think we'll leave that in the car for now.
Okay. Grab the garbage.
I also, so you go in first?
I'll say thank you,
go
and then
last.
go in.
Then I will say thank you and then go in. And I kind of like look back to Knives and just be like,
I imitate Lukas and I say thank you and even do the hand movements.
As
that was
you
good. That was good.
step inside to this grand manor with so much space between it. This building has stood for a very long time, and so it's quite old-timey in a lot of its ways and a lot of its construction. But immediately off to your right, you can see a grand dining room with a long table with all these old wooden chairs, with one particular grand one at the head. Off to the left is sort of a kitchen area, and then there's a staircase that leads up and sort of to the left and to the right. There are cobwebs and dust and many things lining this wooden floor, but the main thing that unnerves you is this dark black ooze that is covering majority of the surfaces, that climbs its way across like veins through a body that make their way through. It's quiet and dark in here. Knives, you're the first to hear the crack, the peel of this. It's like an egg being split open and the goo being leaked down, and you can feel it as some of it actually leaks onto your shoulder and drags its way down of this black ooze.
It's on me.
What?
Get it off. It's on me.
Can I tell what this substance is?
It's very strange, whatever it is, but no, it's unless you have a chemistry specialty or science, it's very,
Brush it
very
off.
yeah, absolutely. It seems to be like almost tar-like. It's sticky and it sort of sticks to you as you do so, but you can remove it after a little bit of effort put in. It's quite heavy, actually.
To
Can
kind
I
of like look at
up?
it.
As you look up above you, Lucas, you see it. These hundreds of sack-like black eggs that hang from the ceiling, that sort of jiggle, squirm, and occasionally you get a view of something inside. But it is the thing behind Knives' head that is leaning down, this feminine form that is upside down on the ceiling directly behind Knives, observing with these shining 8 black eyes and these long mandibles that are black. And this large pair of wings and tail looks almost feminine, but whatever's covering its body is a black carapace, like an insect, like a dress almost. And it hangs there with its black beady eyes and hair all strung up by these bits of bone as it observes Knives closely from behind.
Does it look hostile?
It seems to just be standing and observing, upside down. You can see pieces of this black shell falling off of it, and this slime that's slowly dripping off of it that was on Knives' shoulder.
I bow deeply. Lucas isn't very good at social things, but he will try his best. Thank you for allowing us entrance.
As Lucas, you bow, the two of you turn around and see this figure hanging upside down off of the ceiling. And it cocks its head and observes all of you with its 8 eyes.
As soon as I notice it, and I notice Lucas bowing, I will join. Won't say anything, but I will just join.
It peels itself off, places one long hand against the ground and then another, and then drags itself back up to standing on your plane, no longer on the ceiling. Simply watches for a moment before it says, in a feminine voice, "I didn't realize I would be having guests tonight."
We come bearing gifts and an apology of sorts.
How wonderful. Please take a seat, I will. Prepare some food for you all.
That would be absolutely divine. Thank you.
She
Thank you.
chitters. Her mandibles clack together and her whole body sort of shudders slightly as she stomps her way loudly into the kitchen. You're left alone for a moment.
I look over at Knives. And I just... Are you okay?
Lucas will go to the would he know if it would be inappropriate to pull out the chair for Matthew and Knives, because he doesn't want to accidentally step on however many toes this thing has by pretending like he's the host.
Intelligence etiquette.
I will rouse.
To be clear, all this furniture is normal furniture. It's probably the lack of human creations that is probably most disturbing in this scene. But the eggs that line the ceiling above you, constantly squirming, occasionally squirming, but always there, always watching. Three, you know that you should wait and let the host sit first and all of you should stand by your chairs until that happens.
If I see anyone trying to sit, I will go, like, no verbal, but just like.
After some time, you hear this shrieking sound coming from the kitchen, this tearing of flesh, this pulling of something. After a moment, the Tzimitzi makes their way around the corner with plates for each of you that are covered in this sort of black ooze, and places them in front of you. And what you see is a human heart on each of the plates. And as she places them down, they give one last squirt of blood before they stop. Then they bow, sit in the chair.
I'll take my seat.
I bow and I take my seat.
To what do I owe the pleasure of you three, young kindred?
Well, I was honestly wondering, do you know much about what's happening out there?
I feel and I see everything that happens in this land.
So you'll know about the goings-on with bat-like things walking the streets.
A reckoning for many of my enemies. Let them perish, I say.
I have a question.
Ask.
Did you see what happened to our friend?
The one cloaked in shadow.
Yes.
Perhaps you should ask them yourself.
Thank you.
Knives, as you look up towards the ceiling, perhaps again subconsciously, you are stricken with what you see. A person just stuck to the ceiling in this black goo. Not one, but two. Serafina and Kage, bound to the ceiling. Serafina's eyes are wide, and she seems to be trying to scream, but this black ooze has solidified itself across her mouth. And Kage is unconscious.
I'm tapping Lucas's arm.
Yes.
As you all take the cue and observe what lies just above your heads in the dining room is where I'm going to finish our session tonight.
Don't like it. I don't like it. I took that as her meaning, or I took that as them meaning that go, you ask your friend. Your friend is alive and well. Ask them when you see them. No. Fuck. This is not going to be good.
It's okay, I've got a wand.
You're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Knife.
Well,
Ritual wizard.
the good thing is, if we can pull this off, if this place will no longer have a person that owns it anymore, so I can take it over. It's fine.
Oh my god. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know.
Let's reintroduce our wonderful group this night. Starting with Lukas.
Hi everyone. I am satanic__bunny, and I played Lucas this evening. You can find me on Twitch with satanic__bunny and on Twitter at satanicbunny2.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris, aka Unemployed Writer on Twitch. I am going to be running my game tomorrow night on Aaron Music Productions. Was formerly called Anarchs of Chicago. Tomorrow, I get to introduce everyone to the Fracturing of Chicago. Or, sorry, it's just called Fracturing of Chicago. And that's gonna be fun. So yeah, check us out there. That's gonna be 6 p.m. New Zealand Standard Time, and I'm actually streaming this weekend on my own channel. So first time in a long time I'm gonna be streaming.
Hell yeah.
And then on Sunday that I'm gonna be streaming on my channel.
And then he doesn't stream.
Yeah, that'll be it. It won't happen. But
Sorry. I'm Nova. I'm an empty husk. Also, not easy manipulated that it's become a problem now. You can find me behind the seats at Roleplay Nights. It's roleplay with an E. Also, I'm not playing Bloodlines this weekend because I have to work.
And I'm Ethan, the storyteller and constant cliffhanger creator of this of this channel. You know I'm here. May or may not be streaming tomorrow. I'm exhausted. But thank you. Otherwise, thank you for joining us for this session of Hallstatt by Night. Hopefully next week we'll get Kage back to deal with their current predicament. And we'll see where we go from there. But yes, thank you for joining us. Check out all these wonderful people on their own channels, their own socials. And we'll see you next week for more Hallstatt by Night. See you then.